You know me whatever you want. A knight in shining armor, or a magic spellcaster. Roll the dice, hoping for 20 might get the one. The clash of grids can turn the tide of the battle. The dungeon master has saved the tale for us. Let's start this journey together. Ignite the fire and cast your spell. Thrust your swords straight into your foes. We have the strength to overcome all the challenges ahead. Embark on adventures, endless journey beyond reality, into the darkest dungeon that waiting for us. Pushing forward and level up. We finish what we have started. Lots of needs.
Hi, we're the Clutch Crits. I'm your host, but today I am not your Dungeon Master. Today we have something special from OsoKuma.
Yeah, I'm your what is it? What is it called for Fate? Because we're gonna be playing Fate today.
I think it's still just Game Master.
Is it
probably.
Game Master?
I mean, you want to be something else? You want to be
your aggro narrator? Like I don't know.
Yes, I like that. Your aggro narrator.
Yeah, I don't want to be aggro all the time, but yeah, fuck it, we'll figure something out. We'll workshop. But with us today, we have Chappie.
Kappa terra passe.
Were you speaking a different language? What?
I mean, I might have been.
He was speaking in tongues.
Tongues, nose,
Tongues?
nostril, nasal.
That's the name of your
congestion,
character?
Upset stomach, diarrhea. Yeah, that's my name of my character.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pepto. We have Droppa.
That looked like it hurt.
Hey, you just blew a gasket.
I play Shalissa Aveda III.
Hey, I love how you were just like, can I do the noise instead of being like, hey, Psycho, since you're the host, can you just drop an elephant noise in at this moment?
Oh no, we want it organic.
It's
Organic.
got to be all natural.
We got Psycho, obviously.
I will be playing Godric.
And, I mean, he was in the main campaign, did a side campaign, another side campaign. You're almost a main character at this point. We got Gnomey
What's
Smalls.
up, everybody? It's GnomeySmalls. I should be a main character, but they don't love me enough.
Nope.
So here I am
Not
as
at
a
all.
side character again, playing Baron Stone.
Baron Stone. And we have another guest returning. We have
Syvnn.
right? Seven?
Syvnn.
I want to always say the number.
I know, me too.
Wow.
It's Syvnn, right?
Syvnn, yes.
Syvnn. Why is it it's not 7?
7 was taken, so we went with Syvnn.
Oh, so Syvnn's a mistake.
Yes, it is.
Like him.
How dare you?
I was a mistake too. It's okay.
I know. I met your mom. I know you're a mistake.
I'm a mistake.
You're for sure a mistake too.
I don't
We're all
think he was a
mistakes.
mistake.
Except for
I'm
Nosy.
OGBC. Broken condom.
I think he was like
I'm on purpose.
last hope, last ditch effort.
Okay.
But then that didn't work because then she had another.
Yeah.
2 others.
That's a different.
Three
She wanted a
others.
girl.
She's trying to tell you that she ditched that effort.
Yes.
Well,
Except Nomi's like, I was made.
I wasn't planned, but I wasn't not planned.
I was planned by the gifts of God I was given to my family.
So you're going to be playing a character today as well?
I'll be playing the character that is not a mistake in this campaign, Bia Vastera.
Bia Vastera.
So edgy.
I want to say Viva la Raza so bad.
Okay, OsoKuma, do you want to let everybody know what we're about to be doing today?
Yeah.
Yes,
so
yes.
juicy.
So today we are going to be hopping back into Fate. We played Fate before on the pod. Psycho was our game master, and it was both me and Droppa in the game.
He cheated.
He cheated.
No, he got my ass.
It's not my fault you're a fucking idiot who apparently doesn't understand how horror movie concepts work.
And
And you probably watched the most movies out of everybody.
I was mad at you too, by the way that
I
ended.
know. I fully understand. I like
But,
the way it ended.
You know, the three of us talked about it a lot. We talked about it with Chappie, who was not there to be a part of it, and
But I'm here today.
Yeah.
I'm here today.
We talked about how much we enjoyed it and how much we might want to hop back into it. And this was birthed to go ahead and hop back into Fate. So, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about our world.
Just so you guys know, we are not experts on Fate. So if we're wrong about something, just let us know.
Or don't.
We'll figure it out.
Or catch me at 3 o'clock at the bike rack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Big hand hours.
or catch Psycho at 3 o'clock at the bike rack.
New system, same cock.
It's gonna be Syvnn dressed up as Psycho.
Cosplaying.
And you don't want that.
You don't want
You
that.
don't
Pin the
none of
map.
that.
He'll meet you.
Uh-huh. Him and his Huffy.
Just as the grand tales of the Dragon Coast, through every rift is another story to be told. But you won't find this world through a rift, because it was sealed away at creation, to keep away meddling gods and lurking evils, yet it didn't help it much. Welcome to Eberron, a world of rich history and a hell of ups and downs. A place where science is everything and magic is a super battery. We center on the country of Corvair, a kingdom of peace and harmony. That's until King Jared croaked and died. His 5 kids split Corvair into the 5 nations and went to war over the throne. This is a story during that last war. We go deep into the capital of Siri. The name is Metral, also known as the Rising City. Deep into Metral, you see giant towers and workshops everywhere, and a lot of them have the emblem of House Cannith. House Cannith pretty much run things in Siri these days, though the kingdom is split into 5 nations, and there are true leaders of these different 5 nations. While they're all worried about fighting each other, the dragon-marked houses have risen to the top. On the outskirts of Metral is a huge warehouse. It's where House Cannith usually keeps like their scraps and old experiments to be recycled and put back into new creations. But what is not known is that deep under this warehouse is a whole secret agency that works for House Cannith. They have a bunch of special units that are here. And ready to work for one of these units is a young turtle. Walking up to this warehouse is a young turtle who was offered a job from House Cannith. He knows some people who have been working for the house for some time. He's helped them out. He was told to meet at this location and everything will be explained. What does this turtle look like?
You see a 5'11", hulking 460-pound turtle with black eyeballs with blue irises, tattooed black skin with 4 blue and white bands on each arm and leg. He has a slate gray shell with too many chips in it for his age of 18 as he approaches the door.
Yeah, I guess young isn't that young, huh?
Yeah, young isn't that young. Not in this world.
As Kappa goes to approach the door, you see that there are some workers. They look like they have like dirty coveralls and stuff like that. You see that they're moving just these huge hunks of metal onto these carts, and you see that there are like some like incinerators in the background. You can see that like some of the stuff is being burnt, but then some of the stuff is being put into trucks to move back to House Cannith for inspection. You see that as you go to walk up, one of the guys walks up to you and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I was told to come here about a job.
A job like one of the recyclers?
No. I reach into my satchel and I pull out a letter and I hand it to the guy.
Yeah, no problem. You see, walk all the way to the back behind those crates, you'll see a small elevator.
Okay.
Go in there, press the code 334, and it'll take you all the way down.
Got it.
It's weird to you because where you're at, you know that it's just completely just this flat surface. It doesn't look like there's any basement to here. And there's even like craters in the ground under to where like as you're walking around this warehouse, you can kind of see craters under the ground where it looks like nothing would even be able to be under here.
Oh, we're just going to Sylphco right now? Like Pokemon?
So he's like, yeah, it's go and go that way. You put in the code 334.
All right, I hit him with the head nod, and I start walking over to the door.
Okay. As you go over to the door, you see that you have to put the code in before the elevator starts, before the elevator opens.
Okay. Punch it in, 334.
As you punch in 334, you see this laser shoot out of this crack on the wall, and it looks like it scans you up and down.
Can't kind of panic a little bit on the inside.
You kind of panic a little
Yeah,
bit.
like I go to like move, and I'm like, oh, look cool. Stay cool.
Does your physical
We're
appearance,
locked.
like,
We're locked physically.
you're locked physically, so inside you're panicking.
Yeah, inside we panic for a split second because we think it's like a trap or a bomb.
Okay. You see that this laser goes head to toe, and then the spark like where your eyes are at, and then you see the elevator open up. As the elevator opens up, you see that it is this like shiny metallic inside, and it doesn't look like this should be like where this dirty warehouse is at.
Yeah. As I step in, I start like admiring it and like kind of like, why?
As you go to step in, you see that first the gate at the front of the elevator closes, and then the door goes to close. And as the door closes, you see a flash of light, and then right where the door was at, you see that it's just an opening for you to walk out.
I walk out.
As you walk out, you see that you walk into, it looks like a full courtyard. You see that there are like there's plant life and everything that's going under here, and you can see pockets of the sky where there's daylight here, but you can tell that you're like deep underground. You're not outside. So as you go to it, like advance forward, you see that there's a desk in front of you. Can I help you?
Yes. I was given this letter to meet somebody here today.
Do you have a name on who you're supposed to be meeting? Or give me your name.
My name is Kappa Terrapace.
You see that she starts to like type things in. And she's like, oh, okay, you're here to meet the general, but I have a notification here that they've just been called in to be debriefed. You know what? You're going to be a new recruit, right?
Something like that.
Okay, so here, just hold on. You see that she calls another worker over, and she's like, set this man up, get him his uniform and everything, and take him in for orientation. They're just like, yes, ma'am. You could follow me.
I follow him.
As you're walking, there's a bunch of like different like, there are areas where they're testing like new weapons and stuff like that. For a second, you see these like two walls close, but before they close, for a second, you think you saw like a warforged that looked like the size of like a mountain.
I like double like take.
And you see the doors just close.
And it's like a warforged that big would be completely crazy.
Completely crazy. Any warforges that you've seen, they like some might be like considered heavily armored, which would be like your beefier kind of guy.
Yeah.
But nothing that big.
Okay.
And you see like the head, kind of like a sentinel head in like X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see like the head like that big for a second as like the doors like close.
I rethink all my decisions in my life up to this point.
What kind of weapons do you usually use?
I tend to use 2 daggers and a walking stick.
2 daggers and a walking stick.
Yes, it's a little unconventional.
Do you travel through war areas a lot? I mean,
I
that
have.
doesn't seem like that could help out that much.
Well, the walking stick can make you look like your regular civilian. The daggers you can conceal and get yourself out of a hairy situation.
So you play the innocent guy trying to get through and out of the war areas.
I try to.
Okay, yeah. Right in here is where you can get your uniform and You guys are low ranks, so, everybody wears the same uniform over here. As you start to rank up, you'll get certain badges and patches like what I have, and a lot of the higher agents have, like, full-on armor because they're in the war areas a lot. Yeah, you go ahead and just suit up, and then follow me, and we'll hit you to orientation.
Alrighty.
You go ahead and you suit up, get your little shit on. But I'm going to shift over to another part within this warehouse. The rest of you were called in to be debriefed on a new mission. As you guys were called in, you see one of the secretaries walks up to you, Godric.
Item, Warforged. Unit G0DR1K. Godric. Time in use, 30 years. Height, 210 centimeters. Weight, 143 kilos. Finish, black iron and matte white. Style, Tauric Gorgon. Remarks, stained blood and rust on the exterior body, small scratch on the right ocular lens, and dent on the cystal plate. Accessories, Commander's brand and small arm refurbished from decommissioned units. My brothers and I were commanders of the 1st Regiment. Through our orders, we upheld satisfactory to 102%. Through our active time, we performed tasks of security, threat elimination, asset recovery, resource management, field analysis, and much more. Doling out the will and testament of Kenneth is our purpose. We, as Warforged, are the bricks to the house foundation, and we will be of use till crumbled or replaced due to the cracks within. Be that by creators or by orders. I am House Kenneth.
You were just stopped by the secretary. As everybody else walks into the room to be debriefed, you were the last one to walk in, and she stops you. Yeah, we put him into orientation. I don't know if that's where you guys wanted him. We have no idea what unit he's supposed to be a part of. We just know that he was recommended by you, General Core, and General Bia.
You mean young Tarapace?
Yes, his name is Kappa Tarapace.
He has no need for orientation. Please send him with us.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll get him removed then immediately.
Correct.
Where do you want him to meet you?
We are debriefing in a few minutes, so send him to our war room.
Okay. I'll try to hurry the process and get him over here.
Immediately, please.
So you see that she runs off. Back to you.
It's me.
As you walk into this orientation room, you see that there are it's maybe 200-300 people inside this area, in this courtyard, and you see that they're all standing there, and there's just one guy at a podium that's talking to them. You see that they're all uniformed the same way. You see that you're uniformed the same way. So you see that as everybody's in here, this guy steps to a podium and he's like, "You are new recruits. If I'm going to be honest with you, maybe a third of you will survive. And that's until next week. This is hard work that we have here. But if you push yourselves, if you show dedication, one day you can call yourself House Kenneth. I wasn't originally from the house, but I am true to the cause. I am House Kenneth. I might not have the blood of those with the dragon marks, but I am House Kenneth, and you can be too. As you push through the ranks, you will earn respect. You will earn respect from the house and your peers. You will push yourself to the limit of greatness. There are many units here that you could be useful to. But don't get it wrong. Every one of you could be replaced. There's always somebody out there that's going to be better. So unless you're willing to push yourselves, you might as well walk out of this room right now. We're going to go through your names and we're going to see what unit you're going to be pushed into initially. That will determine which of the 5 nations you get pushed into as well. Give me a moment. You see, he turns around and he walks to a group of people. They're kind of deliberating with each other. They have a bunch of hollow files up. And you see as all these hollow files are up, it's switching back and forth, and you can see some of them expand and like all your information is out there, like huge like hollow file with like your photo, all your history, everything, things that you probably wouldn't have even told them.
Yeah. I would see that they're starting to pull up like hollow files. And I guess I'd be paying attention to the people whose files are getting brought up to like see if they're caught off guard by some of the shit that they are putting out there.
You see some people, there are some people that are very, very like surprised. And then there looks like there's a group of maybe 10 to 15 people that are grouped together. And it seems like none of it's phasing them. You can see that some of like the weapons that they have seem kind of like upgraded and not like the grunt stuff and stuff like that, but they seem like they have the same uniform as everybody who's starting an orientation here.
Okay.
You can hear like little whispers here and there about them. If it's loud enough, roll me a notice.
All right. Since this is my first time playing Fate, how many of these dice do I roll?
You roll all
You
four.
roll all
of them.
4 dice. Okay. 1 plus 3 blanks.
1 plus 3 blanks. Okay.
So that means it's a +1, and then you would add whatever your notice is as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no minuses. It's just
There's are minuses.
yeah. If you get a minus though,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's stunts and extras.
So you
it's
have
under
a
good.
4.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I have a 4.
With your notice, you hear people talk about like, oh, those are the guys that were recommended. You can hear people like whispering and stuff like that. That this group of 15, these are all people that were recommended by people that are already within like these units of House Cannon. You see that like they're, for the most part, they're kind of just like sitting back, seeming like they really don't care about this process right now because they know that they're going to be pushed through.
Yeah. When I see the hollow files, I'm like, this was not. I think to myself, this wasn't like part of my whole deal.
No.
And I for sure don't want my files put out there for everybody to see. I would be hanging around just for a little bit, then I would leave because I would not. That would cross a barrier for me in the agreements that we've talked about previously.
Yeah, so like with your notice, you hear like some of the guys that were like recommended talking about how they're pretty sure that they're good enough to join the Ghost unit.
I would small talk them a little bit. I'd probably go to the loudest one.
So like you see, it's like one that's kind of sitting on like a utility crate. Yeah, man, look, my brothers, my dad, they've all been a part of this agency. No big deal. I'm gonna shoot all the way up to Ghost unit. My dad's part of the Ghost unit.
What do you know of the Ghost unit?
Well, I mean, not much. They're really not supposed to tell anybody anything, but I know my dad's rank though. He's part of the Ghost unit, the B unit.
That is impressive.
Every move that they make, nobody even knows that Kenneth was there.
I see.
Yep, there's A and B, and my dad's part of B.
What is your father's name?
Mine, Rickard.
In your name?
Rickard II.
Original.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think he ran out of names with my 3 other brothers, and then it's kind of weird that the 4th is actually the 2nd, but...
I've read this in a story.
Huh.
Yes. The Bellins 3.
I knew it. Immediately after you read the story.
As I can tell by your gear, shit, they didn't even give you the official gear. You're probably not going to hit any of those ranks. You might be cleaning up corpses in the ward.
Yes. I was thinking about bowing out. But I figured I would talk to you since you seem like you know so much.
Yeah, I mean, you got family back home you need to send money to?
I do.
Probably pay you some chump change to clean up corpses in the war. And then you hear like the echo of like a microphone for a second, and you see the guys back on the microphone like at the podium. I'm sorry, there's been a mistake. Terrapace!
I pat the guy on the shoulder. I say, "Excuse me." I like walk past him up to the podium.
You Terrapace over there?
I am.
My apologies. You were not supposed to go through orientation. You're already an official member of the Ghost unit. A. They will escort you out of here.
Thank you.
And you see like those, like that guy and like his group are like looking at you like, what the fuck?
as I pull out my walking stick and I just make an audible pounding on the ground with every step I take.
As you go and you make an audible pound, everybody hears you walk out because it's very, very quiet until your presence is gone.
Yeah.
As you get out of the courtyard, you see this woman walks up and she bows to you and she's like, hello, sir. I am so sorry that we put you through that. We were unaware that you were supposed to be being debriefed in the war room.
It is okay. I would keep a close eye on the things that Rickard says out loud. He likes to brag.
Brag about
his father's position.
Oh, I would let them know immediately.
I nod my head. Please.
Come with me. So you see that she starts leading you down a couple hallways, up an escalator, and you see that you're in, as you're following her, you get to a part of this warehouse where it is very, very quiet. You see hardly anybody. It seems like there's hardly anybody even there.
Okay.
At the end of the hall, you would see Godric standing in the hallway.
Finally, a familiar face.
Terrapace,
How are you?
I am well. I'm glad you finally decided to join the ranks.
You guys drove a hard bargain.
As we do. Apologies for the mix-up. I will make sure we reprimand anybody who needs to be reprimanded of the miscommunication. But we do have a mission, and we need you to get debriefed, and then we can be on our way.
Oh, we are going right into business.
As per usual.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
As Godric would open the door. Brother, can you please debrief our newest recruit?
Yes, no problem. Welcome to the Ghost Unit. And you see he takes his hand out to shake your hand.
I shake his hand.
So basically what's going on here is, basically what's going on here is maybe 3-4 miles west of here, there are hundreds that are traveling out of the war zone to safety. And the problem is that among them is a Kenneth escapee. And he stole some very, very, very important forged blueprints.
Okay.
The problem is they are traveling on one of the Orin secret paths through the war zone at the moment. If we get closer and we try to apprehend this man, we don't know how many people within those hundreds are with him, first of all. And second of all, if he decides to go off the path into the war zone, there could be a lot of casualties that could happen.
Do we have any information on this tech that was stolen?
It is just some very, very, very important forge blueprint.
Understood.
So, I've already debriefed the whole unit. Everyone else has already moved on, and they should be among the traveling civilians at the moment. You will be accompanying General Godric because he, for the most part, has been our wheelman. The rest of the unit should be able to figure out enough information on who this guy is by the time you guys get there. And if it comes to it, you guys have to kill the guy, then you have to. But your only goal is to make sure that these blueprints make it back.
At all costs?
At all costs.
Do we have a description to go off of for this man?
He is an actual dragon-marked member of House Kenneth. The thing that's very distinct about him is that his dragon mark is on the side of his neck. One of the special things about his dragon mark is that if he starts to get nervous, that specific dragon mark vibrates.
Oh. And you can't even cover a dragon mark up with tattoos.
Unfortunately not.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, he has betrayed the house. We would love to take him back and, be able to go through court processes if needed.
Is there a higher payout if he comes back alive.
If you can bring him back alive and conscious enough to speak, then the payout would be higher.
We will get Kappa situated. Thank you for debriefing him. Kappa, are you ready?
Yes.
You see that the guy slides a card over to you. This is the card for the garage. Take your pick.
As Godric would grab the card and nod his head, as he would then just open the door, waiting for Kappa to leave with him.
Okay.
I go with you.
As you're walking out, you see that there is this huge like bulletin board. But it's like a bulletin board, but like I said, like it's like holographic, right? So like you see these think of like a holographic red thread board, but you see like up top like the higher ranks and then going down and stuff like that. You see that overall for the ghost unit A and B, there are 5 generals that are senior agent. You see that Godric is one of them, Kor is another, Bia is another, which you already know.
Yeah, I know
Then
them.
you see for the B unit, there is General Rickard,
I've heard about him.
and then you see that there is 6. It just says 6. It is a turtle.
So, Godric, you gonna let me pick the whip this time?
No.
Damn. Always so strict. But I like that about you.
Well, since you are officially a part of Kenneth, I just want to say, I understand your motivations. I know what drives you, and as long as you are compensated, you will do work.
This is correct.
For something like this, I do not care for the compensation as long as justice is served to House Kenneth, as you know. So we will retrieve the man if necessary, and I understand that your main priority will be to keep him alive, but if his wrongdoings has served him the right to forfeit his soul, then he has forfeited his soul.
Well, at least you understand what I want to do.
Correct.
I appreciate you taking that into consideration.
So you see like
Oh yes, cars.
you see a woman walk up to you with a clipboard. Hello, General Godric. I have to ask you this question like always. Will you be wanting your check, or should I just throw it into the vault?
Please throw it into the vault.
Sure.
My number is 5
I know it.
6
I-
7 8
Yes.
2 4
Okay.
AG 49.
Thank you. Will you spend any of this?
It's always spent.
Okay. I'm gonna throw it into the vault then.
We are going to have an interesting car ride. I have some questions.
As Godric would nod.
As you get into the garage, you see that huge, big garage. You see that there are a bunch of different types of vehicles, anything that you can think of that's there. And then straight ahead, you see that there is this, it looks like a tablet where you can basically modify your own vehicle instantly at the moment. And it'll just be built from the machinery that's under the garage and then placed in front of you.
Okay. Godric would approach the tablet. And,
Yeah, you said fuck these vehicles. I'm gonna build one.
I feel like Godric has like a custom, like
Yeah.
like those presets that like
preset,
you like that you already have like equipped when you're like a loadout in a video game. I feel like there's already one that Godric already has that when he presses the tablet, it is one that gets pulled up. It would be like it would probably be designed similar to like almost like a large Hummer, but the front end would have bull-like horns to it.
You see that like Godric goes in and he starts just tapping this code in there, and then all of a sudden presets come up, and then you see this vehicle like in real time in front of you start to be built by these like robotic arms.
So this is where that comes from.
Yes, once again, another brilliant invention through Kenneth.
I thought it was weird every single time I seen you in one of these. It looked brand new. And then I've also seen them get destroyed a time or two.
Yes, my brothers work for the house, for this house's foundation.
Okay. So, why don't you spend any of your money?
It does get spent.
On what?
The house.
It stays in your vault.
House Kenneth's fault.
But they don't spend it?
They do.
Oh. So you just give up your entire paycheck?
Yes.
Same.
You give your paycheck to House Kenneth.
No.
Oh.
I do work for House Kenneth now.
Yes.
That is all I need to do.
As like Godric would like nod.
Yeah.
It's like, you're doing something for the house. It's okay.
Not as much as me, but
Like, I don't gotta kill you right here.
You see that like it's being built, it's almost done. You see like a trap door open where this thing is at, and you see like a Warforged walk out, but they have like the long like robotic arms, like the arms that are being like using to build the car. And you see that they're just like, fuck man, long day at work. You see that they take their arm and scrape it against their forehead.
Overtime now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you know what? I was like, fresh air, ew. You see him just start stepping back into the trap door and close it.
fresh air. Ooh, ew, oil. Yes, oil.
Dava, you look like you want to say something?
You're one of those olds that love the church so much, like when they're
Absolutely.
when they're like Godchild, be like, yeah, I be going to church something. Like, okay, cool. As long as you be going sometimes, I don't have to outright, get you off this family right now.
You could definitely tell that that Warforged had enough expressions on his face to be like he did not want to go back down there. He was kind of like very afraid to make the wrong move.
It also doesn't surprise me that he acts like this because I've known him for a while.
It's like, but like, dude, you act like this with people who work with House Kenneth too. Like,
Yeah, I just didn't see him like on his own home turf like this.
Godric would then open the vehicle and says, let's go.
Okay. On the road again?
I would turn over that bitch and go,
Yes, Commander, I will take you.
Oh.
Decepticons roll.
that's what like Godric would say like underneath his breath. Like,
Warforged Kenneth, roll out.
so you see that as Godric gets in the car and goes and starts it up, you get in the car as well, right?
Yeah.
You see that as you guys drive up this ramp out of the garage, from this ramp up to where the surface is at, you feel like this flashing like blink. And as this blink hits, as soon as you hit the top of the ramp, you see yourselves coming out of the sky and hitting the ground.
What was that?
like, what do you mean?
That blink, that flash.
Kenneth technology. We blink towards a better future.
I just stare forward. I'm like, I can't get nothing from this motherfucker. I'm gonna put on some.
Just because I'm a Warforged does not mean I know the science.
Fair enough. I figured you might.
I am a Warforged, not an itemized forge.
Oh,
Killed his ass.
it's minorly racist.
There is no race with Warforged.
As the blink happened, you guys landed on this road. You could tell that it is the House Orin dragon marked road. So like it is safe as long as you stay on this road. You could see within the distance hundreds of these carriages all together, like bunched up on this road. You know that you're supposed to be waiting for a signal, like a spark in the sky, when you're supposed to push in.
Okay, so then I'll be like teetering close, just ready to like, shift gears and punch this bitch.
While you guys are driving, we will go deeper into the caravan with the carriages, and as we're pushing forward, and let's see where the rest of our party is at.
Can this car be sentient? Can my car be sentient?
It's a Warforged.
Is it a war? Can it be a Warforged?
It talked to us.
I mean, no, that was a different guy who built it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'd say fuck it. This is a Warforge that remembers how many times it's been built and decommissioned.
Hell yeah.
That's wild.
Because he says that every time, like he redoes it
Yeah.
for every mission. Deep into the hundreds of carriages, vehicles, people trying to find a safe place, we see Bia. Bia, describe yourself and how you look or where you're at within this caravan.
So within the caravan, you'd see Bia just sitting on the back of one of the carriages, holding his blade, while it looks like everyone's kind of looking around him, but does not notice him specifically. Bia is a 6 foot, 160 pound, toned, brown skinned elf with a pearlescent underglow, pale blue streaks mixed in with jet black hair, black and blue hooded outfit with a solid black blade on his side. And if you look closer at the blade, you kind of see turquoise blue inscriptions down the whole entire blade. Now, if you get a lot closer to him, you'll realize he has a mask on, kind of like an assassin, the best way to describe it. And you'll see straight blue eyes, kind of with a pink underglow to them. Everyone's looking around this character, but they do not notice that he's sitting there, but they're looking directly in his area, if you get what I mean.
So you're just hidden in plain sight.
Yes.
As you're there, you know the rest of your allies are there. Where would your eyes drift off to?
I will definitely be looking towards the elephant.
Damn, he's got a name.
Damn.
Thank you.
The
damn.
Loxodon, the most hardest object to miss among this caravan.
As you drift, as your
Shalissa.
eyes drift towards Shalissa, what does Shalissa look like? What is Shalissa doing?
Shalissa is tossing up a barrel in his hand. Shalissa stands 7'9", weigh about 500 pounds. He a hefty boy, even in the Loxodon standards. He is dressed in a storm blue robe, and his staff that he used to perform all his spells with is made out of a baobab tree. It's the tree of life for people that don't know. It has like tiny branches that all grow up north with green foliage on it, and on top of the foliage sits a rose-colored, about tennis ball sized pearl that he used as his arcane focus. He doesn't wear shoes, so it's just big, like Loxodon footprints as he walks around tossing these barrel, and he's singing like a little jaunting tune for his wizarding school. Potions to the oceans. I hope I have the greatest motion as he keeps tossing the barrel up and down. As he's trying to look for the target that he's trying to find.
From your barrel that you're holding up, you smell very strong, aromatic apple-like fragrance, like immense, just peering out of the barrel. You know what's and who is in there, but you don't know why it smells like that.
So I stop what I'm doing and I open up lift the lid of the barrel.
And as you lift the barrel, what?
I knock on the barrel. I go.
As the barrel opens, what do we see?
So within the barrel, it weirdly seems bigger on the inside. A little workspace. You see your friend, Baron. From what you know, Baron looks like a halfling, but you know that he's a half-dwarf, half-elf, just very normal looking. But you know the way that he describes himself is very different. He's a little insecure because of the way he was raised. He thinks of himself too skinny to be a dwarf, too dense to be an elf, too short for the elves, not enough beard for the dwarves, hair too long and blonde for the dwarves, too short and rough for the elves. You know his story. He was born of a forbidden love and raised in his dwarven father's apothecary. He is not accepted by the elves, so his mother is forbidden from ever seeing his father and him again. The immense insecurities have built up within him, and now it has created a deep need to please his friends, but also hide his face. You know that he has sought power to be useful to his friends, leaving scars on his body from testing toxins on his arm to attempting forbidden magic and scarring a crown and jewel into his forehead. His friends he allows to see what he looks like, if he trusts them, but he hides his existence to others under a cloak, mask, and shadow that you know is in the corner of this barrel that is built up with metals within that he can go inside, but is also built to look just like a shawl and hood and hide his body. It's an armor that is made to not look like metal, but has interwoven apothecary-like ingredients all within it. However, you see Baron not looking up to you when you open the barrel because he seems preoccupied, laughing a little as you see him creating something that smells very strongly like the scent of apple. You see Baron there in his dark purple robe, open chest, a thinly chain mesh-like shirt underneath where you can see his chest that leaves a scar going to his arm. Black bordered, and he has black pants and black boots. He wears these colors because he's too afraid to wear bright colors and does not want people looking at him. Once he finishes, he looks up. He says, "Oh, hey, Shalissa. What's going on?"
What's with the smell?
"Oh, I'm creating something for squid." And you know that Baron calls Kappa squid.
What are you creating for squid?
Oh, just a gift since I heard that he's joining us.
Is this the right time?
Yeah, of course. What if we need it? Actually, yeah, it would help us.
What are you making?
And he looks around his own barrel.
I look around. I stick my trunk into search around the barrel.
And he looks very just like someone's gonna hear us. And he looks at you. He's like, "It's something for his dagger to make things go sleep, not dead but sleep."
So it's like a sleep
Yeah,
toxin.
It's an immense amount of chamomile.
You know, sometimes in great times like these, I'm happy I don't care about potions and stuff like that. I'm more of a magic guy. I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna close the lid.
Just do the knock when we're ready, and then I'll come out in my armor and give it to him.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Of course.
You hear a rustling on the side of you as you see one of these curtains open by a carriage, and as you lift your head from talking into the barrel, you see this kid staring at you and staring at the barrel, just looking up and down, back and forth.
Like you're crazy for talking to a barrel.
I look him up and down. You didn't say a crazy Loxodon, a drunk crazy Loxodon talk to his barrel. I got one tusk. Of course I'm crazy. Ha! And just walk away, sweating like
A whore in church.
Yeah, like a whore in church. I don't know.
The kid's like, "What? The hell does that even mean? One tusk?" So I'd have all three of you roll notice.
He's the Tin Man.
He's not the Tin Man.
Oh.
Notice.
Broke even. I rolled a 2.
Plus
So
1, 0.
so this you have a plus and a minus, which will go ahead and clear each other out. You had a 0 and a plus.
And then
So that'll be
plus
1
2,
plus whatever your notice is at.
plus 3.
So it'd be 3 altogether?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I got 2 pluses and a minus, and then I have a +1 because my notice is average, so I have a 2.
You have a 2.
I broke even with 2 pluses and 2 minus, so I have a +2.
Okay. So Bia, as you know, since you weren't deep in the conversation or anything, you're just kind of sitting there looking around, watching to make sure what's happening. You see an open bed in the back of one of these carriages. You see this guy is like, "Yeah, it was so easy. They didn't even hide it or anything. Was able to take the scroll. We're gonna make so much money off of this. I know a guy in the Elden Reaches that's gonna buy this thing, man. We'll be home free. You think that just because I'm House Kenneth, I have to stay here? I got the money to move to whatever country I want. Everybody thinks that everything's always in Corvair. It's not always in Corvair. We can always move. And you see that there are a couple of other guys. You can see like in the carriage. You can see only 2 of them, but you can hear more voices of laughing.
All right, so now that I'm hearing them talk, can I invoke a boost on my notice roll to see who else is in there and hear more of the conversation?
So in Fate, everybody has these things called Fate tokens. All of my players are starting off with 3. Usually, like it's what's recommended is like 2 or 3 or whatever, but it is supposed to reset every scene, and if your GM deems worthy, some of your fate points can be carried over to the next session as well.
Yes. Wow. And a good rule of thumb GMs use is the GM has as many fate tokens as many players in the scene. So right now the scene is you 3. He himself.
Did you get yours? Or?
Yeah, I got 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So he would have 3 fate tokens as well. And then when it comes to boosting, using those aspects, they should be relevant as well. As long as like you're noticing what you're gonna have is going to it makes sense with how the aspect works.
So I'd be boosting with my paranoia because I'd be listening in on the conversation that they're having.
Sure. And if that's feasible to the GM, then.
So you're going to invoke your paranoia to gain a boost on your notice. So you would be spending a fate token. So you'd be giving me one of those.
All right.
And then that would be giving you a +2, which would change yours to 5
which
altogether now.
Like it would usually be, I don't know, depending on the variation, it means succeeding with style, which is like the crit.
Which is succeeding with style, which is a crit. He is correct.
And depending when you succeed with style, people either gain like another free aspect for the situation, a situational aspect of some sort, or whatever else.
With you having your paranoia and trying to like dig deep, you're able to discern different people that are laughing, to where you know that within this carriage there is a total of 8 people, including the guy who said that he stole the scroll. Let's go ahead and create an aspect for this, where you're able to use it for within the situation again. Let's call it open ears.
Yes.
So by scene, it means like after this whole caravan event,
Yes.
it's over.
Yeah.
Essentially,
I'll let you know
when the scene's moving on or something like that.
But so far now you have a boost on something else when you need it here because you succeeded on that. So now you know the full total of guys that are with him, which was one of the things you guys needed to know. And now the only thing was to shoot your signal so that the rest of your team knows it's time to move. You guys do, I will let you guys know, you guys do have comms with each other.
Okay, so
as long as you're within the area of each other. So let's say within 40 feet of each other. So Kappa and Godric wouldn't be able to hear you guys, but you guys together as a group would be able to communicate with each other.
So Bia would tap his right ear and be like,
Bada, bada, bada.
I currently count 8 in the caravan, and the one speaking about stealing scrolls, he's also in here.
How far are you away?
So you hear. So you guys already located him, and there's 8 altogether.
Cor,
Yeah.
where are you at?
I moved a little bit further ahead in the caravan. I need to know if I have to put this signal out there.
Put the signal out.
I have a plan to stop the entire caravan to where either this thing happens right here on the road or we go into war territory.
If they start a fight, though, are we going to be putting them in danger, or everyone else in danger?
They're not going to want to sit here and fight.
Oh, I trust you guys. I'm just here to help.
Act like you have your cloak on.
Okay, hold on. Let me get in the mode. Okay, Core, let's get him.
Cool, I thought there'd be more energy in that, but all right. And you guys would see this emerald light start going up into the sky. in the front of the caravan. And then you would see it spark and stop. And you could see it's his maul in the air as it just flips over and it starts falling straight back down. As it hits the ground right in front of the caravan, destroying the terrain and stopping the carriages in the front. As you hear this loud boom and spark. There's kind of like a collision accident that happens all the way through of just this crashing. So what I'm going to need is let's go physique, right?
So we need to use physique to hold our balance. Can I use athletics to land a certain type of way?
Let's see what this physique roll looks like first.
So for
And remember, you could use your
my lower ability.
you can use your bonus that you just received from me.
Because you're still in the same.
you're still within
I
the
thought that
scene.
was just for. Okay.
It also depends, but like
Yeah.
you know, for the
I told you it's all ears, so maybe
Okay.
you like
So,
you,
like,
so
you
you
hear
hear
it,
the
you're
collision,
ready.
you know it's coming.
Yes.
You might be able to actually with that. I will allow only for you because it's all ears. You might be able to know it's coming and time it, and be able to use your athletics to jump in the air as the ripple happens and then land.
So when everything comes crashing down right before it does, I jump prepared for it so then I can land instead of having to hold myself still.
So everybody be rolling physique, you'd be rolling an athletics check.
So on my stunts and extra, since I have strength from determination, I can use my will instead of physique.
That's fine. Yep. Okay, so that goes ahead and
-3.
Damn.
Got long.
down.
Got
So
long.
that's a -3 to
His athletics.
what is your athletics?
A 3.
So
a 3?
0.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
trash.
so it's you had the right mindset, but
You had the
your
wrong
body-
execution.
Yeah, your body didn't move as fast as your mind.
like in real life.
My mind moves faster than the body.
So you're like,
What did you roll?
I rolled 2 plus is 2 minus, so I broke even. So I have a +3. I have a 3.
You have a 3.
I have a 4.
You have a 4.
I have +1, and then I have 3 physique.
As this collision happens, this ripple is shooting through the entire caravan. Shalista's able to hold his ground, cloak on and everything. You see Baron, doom, just feet hit the ground and just is like a brick wall at the moment. And you see Bia jump in the air, and right as he gets ready to land, he touches the ground way too soon. And you see his leg like wobble like a noodle for a second, and he falls into one of the cracks to the ground in between the carriages. So they had a 3. So that main guy with the dragon mark, you see that he landed on his feet as well. The other 7 were deep into the carriage, so they didn't fall on the ground. They're just in the carriage. As that entire thing happens, Godric kicks it into gear. You see, as soon as you see the spark, you know that it's
Go time.
you know it's Core's Maul, and you know that as soon as it hits the ground, that ripple's gonna happen.
okay. So I see it up in the air, and I said, "Let's go, Kit." So Kit is our vehicle, but it's not. It's CITT for Kenneth Instrumental Transmutational Tool. He is designed to be a Gorgatar, which is why he has bull horns. And I would look to Kappa. Be ready.
I am.
And do I do a drive check, I presume?
You would do a drive check. And you see this ripple is happening. You see it coming quick through the road, and you know that it's gonna hit past it to where you're gonna be driving into as well.
That is a 4, and I want to boost it with lawmen to always follow orders no matter what.
Okay.
To make it to a 6.
So that will be with success.
Succeed with style.
Give him his coin back.
It's Quan.
So you are succeeding with style.
I have kicked that bitch into high gear, and I'm trying to zoom through the entire crowd. all the way to till I'm getting within relative distance, so I can communicate to where I gotta crash this thing at.
So, since you succeeded with style, we're gonna give you an aspect called Rev to the Graveyard,
Sweet.
and that's gonna be specifically for driving.
Cool. That's perfectly fine.
I hit my man with the. Do you have a plan, or are you just going to crash into this cart?
If we crash into the cart, it will completely immobilize them, and then we can apprehend the Dragon Marked.
You hear the speakers start to boom in Kit, and he's like, "For the House of Kenneth, send me to death!"
No, wait, we do not need to do this. Hold on. I kind of want to at least have a
and
chance.
The headlights start to slant just a little bit, like angry eyes.
Hell yeah.
So you're just driving to all these people?
No, actually, I have a stunt called Surgical Strikes. When using crafts, which I would imagine Kit counts as a craft,
Yep.
in conflict involving machines, you can filter out unwanted targets through the whole zone
Damn.
Hell yeah.
without having to without having to divide shifts per target.
That's my drive.
So,
Listen, no, you definitely got a leaf blower. You're definitely shooting them back. Like,
When we went through this, we were just like, "What's going to be the most useful Warforge ever?"
That one.
that's dope.
He passes maneuverability instantly.
So you guys would hear this loud roar as you see Kit speeding down this road towards you guys. Well, you guys would, as you catch your footing. Bia wouldn't.
I'd be like, Team A, tell me the position.
When you see Baron jump out of the barrel in his full suit, mask, and hood and everything, he looks at you, and you just see behind the mask his eyes just ready to go, and he looks at you and he says, "Fastball special."
Okay, so he says fastball special. I'm going to pick him up by like the nape of his cloak, spin around in a circle, and I'm gonna toss him at the caravan, and I'm going to enchant his, like, we both probably do a chance at the same time to like actually make him on fire like a giant ass flaming wrecking ball just crashing through.
That's gonna go real well with what I'm gonna do when I land. But that's all right. That'll be fun. As he's going to throw me, you hear in comms Baron say, "Look for the flying dwarf."
You guys need to chill.
He's like,
I know I've worked with you guys before, but I guess I've just been working on the easy days.
he's like, that was the free trial basis. This is the real
Did you
shit.
actually say that
Yes.
in comms? Baron would then go back and be like, "Oh, Squid, you're here." In comms.
As soon as this ripple happens, it looks like the House Kenneth guy runs deeper into like the carriage that he's in because it's a full tented one, and the 7 come out. Basically, now we'd be rolling our initiative, which is a notice.
I would not be rolling my initiative because I have stunts extra that I have quick on the draw. So I'm gonna just fling my mans right here instead of roll my initiative because I can use shoot.
Correct, and you shoot as your notice for your initiative, and you automatically get a
shot
surprise
off,
attack,
yes.
a shot off.
I invoke my mice and men to give me a +2.
Okay,
Boosted to
sure.
6.
Give it to me.
My mice and men to push me up to 6, so I finish in style. Mice is man for because I'm a Loxodon and I'm strong.
It would succeed with style if you beat his roll
Oh,
by
yeah.
3.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Come on,
Which
give me
he
all
can choose
whammies,
to,
all
he can choose to
whammies.
like boost and everything as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All whammies, all whammies, all whammies, all whammies, all whammies.
Ba, 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 ba.
Whammies!
Whammies.
So that is should be a 0 altogether.
So he would succeed with style, and that is 6 physical stress.
6 physical stress. Yeah, you're right.
I'll try to use a quick sand spell to hold him in place, or a quick make it mud. Basically,
To the Dragon
Okay.
Mark guy.
yeah, to
that's
Dragon
fine.
Mark guy.
That's fine. So you did very well with that. You were able to shoot off a spell. What kind of spell are you doing to like hold them in place?
Like difficult terrain, like make it all mud, so they just sink.
So like a what is it, like an earth bind or something like that?
Yeah, I mean like a flavored of entangle. You know.
Yeah. So you see that like the vines like shoot up from the wood that is the bed of the carriage, and you see it tangles around him as he goes to like run. He basically his feet get caught. He falls over and smacks his face against the ground. But you see the 7 guys run in front of him, so they're still blocking from where he is at.
Now we roll our notice.
Our notice. Just a +3.
I got a 4.
I have a +2 also.
Your notice is still your shoot.
Yeah.
So I have a +4.
Okay. So you have 4,
Yeah.
I got a +2.
2,
4.
4,
4.
4.
3.
Okay. The way that we're gonna do this is since you guys rolled the same, you guys will be able to mix match however you guys want for your initiative.
You want to go first? You want to?
Well, it would be you fastball, especially me. Yeah.
Me, fastball special in.
Are you still setting me on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to throw him, it is going to be your athletics check to throw him. So you're throwing him a carriage away towards the 7. So you are going to need to roll your athletics check.
All right. 2 pluses, and any act of physical strength is using my will. So that is a 5. 4.
A 4 altogether, that's decent. So you're able to, because he's a smaller guy, you're stronger, you're Loxodon, you're able to toss him to the next carriage. Your land is what matters, but you're going to do something before you land.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as Baron is in the sky, you hear the ground kind of shake and a hum come from Baron as he says, "Deep into the darkness I peer. Long do I ponder, dreaming dreams." Out of his cloak, a dark brown gas starts to protrude out of him and flow out of him. Within the gas, you see a dark purple and teal magic start to mix within it. And it starts to smell a little like mandarin, orange, plum, and pepper.
I don't hate you.
You giving me like good guy scarecrow vibes. I don't know how I feel about it right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's too early.
I'm waiting for him to be in my bed like, shh.
And you kind of see him look at you and give you a thumbs up, like he doesn't care about him landing. Invoking provoke fear, my aspect.
You would be rolling your provoke right now.
So you're washed. So if you want to boost it,
No, I'm not. Oh, this was a minus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to boost it.
you can either boost it, you can invoke it to boost, or just a whole nother reroll. That's up to you.
Yeah.
So usually people do
What does
reroll.
the boost do? Or
Boost
do?
gives you +2 to what your roll is. What's your provoke?
That would
So-
make it 6.
That would make your provoke 6. That's great. That's
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just boost it.
So basically, that's if you. What did you roll right there? That washed it.
Yeah,
washed it. And
yeah.
He has a 4 to provoke.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
have anytime you use your fate tokens, you use one of your aspects,
Yeah.
right? You are able to either boost it, which is your +2, or you can re-roll the entire thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to boost it with your 6, you automatically are going to succeed with style.
Yeah.
But if you want to try to do even further, you could try to re-roll the whole thing.
Right. The thing that I would say is for these kind of things, because this is part of the conflict, right? Since we're in conflict. From what I've heard, like with like 2 monsters rolling dice, doing everything like that, is that you succeed with style if you beat his roll more than 3,
Yes.
right? So he will do his roll.
I'm still going to do my roll first.
So you do your roll, he does
You'll
his
have
roll,
the
and then you
decision after.
Oh, okay.
afterwards.
You can
Okay.
boost afterwards in this.
Yeah.
'Cause I might roll shitty, and you might just only need the 4.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't blow your load
Yeah.
across.
And you're aiming at the 7.
Yes.
Yeah, so I already had a +2, so this is 4 altogether.
So they match. So he matches you entirely. 4 to
So
4.
a boost wouldn't help,
No, a boost would, because that
But
means you
it-
hit them with the mental stress.
but it wouldn't do the style.
It doesn't crit, because you have to beat them by 3, which you would have to roll 3 pluses, and you would have to get +3 on your roll
Yeah.
to succeed with style at this point.
So just boost it.
If you want to hit them with some mental stress,
Yeah.
yes, I would boost
Yeah.
it.
I could also be a fucker.
Yeah, and he could choose to boost back.
I can also boost back and then make it to where it's like,
Yeah.
what you did wasn't shit.
I'm gonna boost to do the just to do some mental stress on them. Does that work, or are you going to?
I'm not going to.
Okay.
So you're going to boost. You're going to boost your socially awkward to scare them even more.
Yes. So as I'm falling like into them, the gas will start to hit them, and what this is it's opium. It's a concoction I made of opium laced with my own magic.
Trying to get them high as shit.
Yes. And as it hits them, they're going to hear a crackle and a voice from within that just really just crushes their eardrums as a whisper says, "Cooperate or die."
That's the most audible Gnomey's been. I won't have
Ever.
I won't have to increase that 10 decibels.
Ever. That man's on it. He's been out here doing acting classes.
It's the extra 45
So you
pounds,
did
I think.
you did mild mental stress to them.
Okay.
But now you might be able to do physical stress depending on how hard you fall into them.
Yes.
I will let you know right now. The lower you roll, you will take damage, but they will also take that damage.
Okay.
The higher you roll, the better you're able to get your footing to where you don't give them as much damage.
Question. Could he take a compel?
He could.
Like, if you want to compel your stealth.
Can I choose to be compelled?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could be like, I'll take a compel. And then you would get your
Because
fate
you know
token
it's your
back.
negative.
Yes.
Hell
Yes.
yeah. I choose to take a compel.
Which you would just gain your fate token back so you don't even have to use it.
So as I'm falling into them, for some reason, I just don't feel like landing, and my body twitches as I also hear the in my ear. Can you add a stunt on top of what you're like? How does stunts and extras work?
Stunts and extras are usually situational because they explain how the situation happens. So you have to explain which one.
I may provoke in place of empathy to learn a target's aspects by bullying them, which is what I'm kind of doing right now. Or is that something where they have to tell me?
He would have to determine if this would count what you're doing as bullying
I think,
or not. To the people that you're approaching.
Yeah.
That would be a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Right now, no.
Okay. Especially because we're in like an actual conflict already.
Yeah.
But if you were continuing a conflict with somebody, you might be able to see weaknesses in them and be able to use it against them.
Okay.
Especially because this is not a like direct you haven't directly talked to these guys yet.
Yeah.
Gonna go ahead and with going ahead and taking like the compel to completely fail it. I'm just gonna make it a 4.
Okay. So I'll have 2 physical left, and now I'm taking a consequence, which you decide, right?
Correct. Baron, as you go to fall, you instead of taking all 4 of the physical stress, you're going to take 2 of it, and then you're going to take a consequence, right?
Yes.
So you're going to take a mild consequence. So let's say that like as you fall, you kind of like bashed your knee at the moment.
Tried to do a hero landing, didn't work. Hurt my knee.
As you go to fall through them, like there's just one gap in between them as you fall where your knee bashes right into the ground.
So gas is pouring out of me as my knee hits the ground, and I just start laughing to hide the pain.
As that happens to you, you guys hear this roar getting louder as Kit is closer through the gaps and everything within this caravan.
Okay, so Godrix wants to whip Kit around to spin out and slam into all the 7, all the 7 guys.
Okay.
And with my
So you're gonna slam Kit into that carriage where the 7 guys are standing on.
yes, because they're outside of it, standing outside of it. Right?
They're on like think of like a truck. They're like on the bed of it, on the back.
Okay,
of it.
then I'm just gonna
So-
like slam into the entire
Back half.
like back half to like spin the carriage out
Okay.
to hit to hurt everybody that's in there except Baron because of my surgical strikes.
Hell
So
yeah.
you only T-bone it?
Kind of.
He's gonna like blow the back half off, and my man's gonna be sitting there on his knee, like just chilling, and be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I'm
He
used
just
to
spin
his
right
driving.
past
Yeah.
him.
We've
Like-
been here. We done this.
So I'm gonna roll 2 things from what you're gonna be rolling. I'm gonna be rolling for the 7 that are there, and then I'm gonna be rolling for the stress that might be put on this carriage.
Okay. Fuck that carriage.
Well, if the carriage gets destroyed right away, they don't have a chance of... When you're hitting this, you are going to be using your drive. But you have a boost to specifically driving if you want to use that as well.
Okay. That's only going to be a 1, so I want to see what you rolled.
So, this is the carriage.
Ooh.
So what would the carriage...
Carriage is at a 2.
At a 2 overall?
Overall.
Okay, so I would be losing, so I'm going to... do I boost or reroll? Because I got a -1 overall.
What's your...
My drive is 2.
Oh, that's
You want me to tell you what the guys got first?
Sure. Oh, are they both match? They're both going against my 1 number?
Yeah, they're both
Okay,
going to
okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Double
So,
L.
the carriage is still good at the moment, where the main guy is stuck on. But it is going to be it's going to be a 1 for the 7 guys for them to lose balance and fall off of the back of me.
So what I'm actually going to do then is that I'm going to boost with my free aspect Ride to the Grave to make myself a 3 instead, and then I'm going to boost one more time to Kenneth Till I Die to make myself a 5 to blast all these guys with a 5
Smoke
and
his
the
ass.
carriage.
Let's go.
Okay?
Smoke his ass. Go ahead, cook.
Okay. So that is going to be...
So it's a 5 against the carriage 2, which I would succeed with style against them and the other guys.
Correct. So it would be 4 against the guys, and then...
It would be 3 against the carriage.
Shit.
You need to get your old elitist ass
Damn.
a fucking volcano.
So do these come back every session, or do you have to earn these back?
They're technically session or scenes, depending on how it goes. So since I succeeded with style against both parties,
Yes.
I think I would like to create a aspect here of just like the power, like you can never run away from Kenneth against these guys.
The carrier
Like I have the
of
aspect
Kenneth.
on them, if that's possible.
Kenneth's gonna come get you.
Yes.
Kenneth gonna hunt you down.
Can't run from Kenneth.
Kenneth cometh, Kenneth, take it.
So they're
Now
gonna...
Kenneth.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a consequence for these guys. So right now they're pretty fucked. These guys have taken 2 mental stress from Baron and taken 2 physical stress from you. You see, just the 7 are kind of like shaking and trying to figure out what's going on at the moment. Some of them are still trying to get off the ground. The carriage, you see the whole like truck bed of it just completely crack right in half. As you see, hanging off of the edge of it, it's split right in the middle under where the guy was like entangled. So you see, like hanging off by 1 foot is the House Kenneth guy.
I think after I do the spin out, I would probably pull out my gun just to have it ready, and then I would yell out.
You see that this guy with his turn is going to go ahead and try to, with his core strength, try to lift himself to try to cut his foot free, to try to free himself. That is going to be a
Your core ain't that nice, sweetheart.
physique.
Your physique ain't that nice, sweetheart. I'm telling you. Damn. Oh no, it ain't that nice. You broke. No.
Broke even.
Yeah,
No.
it's broke even, but it's a 3. So you see, he cuts himself free, drops, and he's ready to be on the move.
The big bag?
Yes, the big bag.
Bag, bag.
Yeah. You see that he cuts himself free and he drops and he's ready to be on the move. Now it is going to be Kappa's turn as Kappa jumps out of Kit.
I'll jump out of Kit. I'll jump onto the back of the wagon, what's left of it, and can the guy see me?
The guy could see because Kit just crashed into it. So he cut himself free now, and now he's on the ground.
Can I boost for quick to judge to invoke a boost to read who someone really is? To kind of gauge if he's like, oh shit.
If he's him, or
Yeah, if he's him, or if he's like, I don't want to die today for this.
Yeah, so basically you'd be using notice to place of empathy to try to learn whether this guy is willing to go all out for what he's doing, or you could probably talk him down.
+4.
+4.
Yep.
You can like as he falls to the ground and he's like looking around and he's nervous. You can see that this guy is more talk than action. You know that you might be able to talk him down from leaving with the forge blueprints, but he probably will not try to come back in with you guys. Okay. Now, you know that your main mission is to get these forge blueprints, but you could get paid more
if I could bring him back alive.
If you can bring him back alive.
It's not saying it's impossible. I would just have to succeed pretty damn well in order to convince him to not die here today.
Correct. And then I am going to use your aspect need ends to make you try your hardest for more money.
Okay.
To try to force the group to bring this guy in alive.
Yeah.
Because technically the mission is really all they need is the forge blueprints.
Yeah.
They will pay you more, but it doesn't really matter if this guy makes it back alive.
Yeah.
All right. So as I pretty much figure that out in my head, I hit my little comm and I say, I got it from here. Stay back. I'm going to try to take him alive.
It will be your turn next, Bia. It will be up to you if you're going to follow Kappa's lead or if you're going to do something else. At the moment, when it comes to this guy, Kappa is going to try to conversate. But you guys are still in initiative, and the 7 guys aren't running. They know that this is a fight that they can't run from. They have to fight because they're not going to try to run from Godric at this point.
So Bia would pop up from the rubble, tap his right ear. Copy. I'll give you a few seconds for that one, and I'll go after the 7. The 7 look like they're scared of us, so to speak.
They're startled, and they're pretty much afraid of Godric at the moment because he just did some psychotic ass shit by bashing into them. Didn't care about civilians around.
They hurt civilians though.
But he didn't really care about civilians or anything. It seems like he seems like a crazy person at the moment. Remember, he's not marked by anything. You guys are unmarked people by being like part of the ghost unit.
I'm a bloodstained metal Warforged.
Like, this is odd. Warforges like have specific purposes. Like, for the people that are here in this caravan, they might think that this is a crazy Warforged from the war zone that is like, fuck it, we don't give a fuck about this safety zone. We're just gonna kill anybody.
Right, they don't know that's the Kenneth killer right there.
Yeah, so like they're like startled by him at the moment. I will say that they are completely distracted.
Does that mean I get advantage?
No.
So I'd like
I just wanted to
attack
say
the
that out
7.
loud for you to try to fish for it.
At least he's honest.
Hey, gotta respect the game. Game recognized game.
That was some good banter.
So I'll pop up out of the rubble, and while they're focused on him, I'd basically dip in and out and swing at one of them.
You're gonna dip in and out and try to swing at one of them?
Yep. So I have a +4.
Yeah. So I have a 4.
Okay, then I would like to invoke Overconfident when provoked to fight for a +2.
Okay. So you'd have, so basically you guys would see Bia come out of like the dirt and everything in between the carriages because, he fell. And you see this flash of dirt with his sword kind of like run straight through the 7, doing the last of their physical stress on them. You basically stumble and stop like maybe 2 steps away from Godric, like where you're almost gonna run into him. And then Godric, as you like look on the side of him, you see the body start sliding apart.
Still not that quick on your feet, Bia.
As long as the job's done, it doesn't matter how we got there.
You are correct.
And I just look at him for cannon.
At the moment, it looks like Core has made his way through from the front.
Okay.
And he sees you guys as he's approaching, but you guys see that Kappa is slowly moving in towards the Cannith man. So basically, you guys would see Kappa starting to approach. He has his hands up. It looks like he's ready to start talking to this guy to try to talk him down. As you guys, you guys have time to make any moves beforehand.
Yeah. Are you standing down?
I would be just leading the
Because all three of you have a chance to do something.
Yeah.
Godric, Shalissa, and Baron.
Okay.
So we know he was joining the group, right? I'm gonna let I'm gonna let him do him. We've been working with him. I'll just be like leading the caravan on, like maybe throw up like a magic illusion dome to block out what's going on and keep
Crowd
having
control.
people go forth. Yeah.
Okay. Baron would still be laughing as he gets up, calms his laugh, takes all of the gas around him into his left arm. So all the magic and gas is floating around his left arm as he starts to walk towards the man with the dragon mark. As he then, his arm starts to kind of, so my arm is usually wrapped, and it is, and within the armor you can kind of see a bit of a glow as he reaches out and grabs and shoots the gas forward. It forms into a snake, the head of a gorgon, as he hears, "You are the possession of House Cannith. You possess the mark of making. You are too important to ever be let go. Give us everything and come with us." As the bull horns stab into his chest, they don't actually harm him because it's like a mental thing. He just thinks it's happening as a sear starts to form on his chest in a glyph mark, as that will continuously remind him for a little bit that he is a possession of House Cannith. And that's my mark of warding. So I'm going to... How often can you use aspects? I just curious.
As long as you have
Okay.
fate tokens.
As long as you have fate tokens and
Yeah.
like he's even having you roll like me, that would think that's like a provoke that you're trying to do. You're trying to provoke him.
I'm provoking, because that's my main source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm provoking to kind of wind down his mental stress and listen to us, and try and bully him into giving us answers to use my stunt as well.
Okay, so you would have to go ahead and roll your provoke.
If you want to use the stunt, I believe you would probably have to pay a fate token to use that stunt as well.
Okay. So mine's at a 4 right now. I would like to use the stunt, so I would be using a fate. The target defends against this with will, and if the GM thinks the aspect is particularly vulnerable to your hostile approach, I get a +2.
Okay.
Which is why I was going with your possession of House Cannith.
Yeah, so I rolled a 3 altogether. And I was at first going to use a fate token, but you're still going to beat me. So you are good so far.
Okay.
What did you
And
roll
then-
altogether?
So it's a 4. So I was going to also use another fate token to add in my socially awkward to provoke even more fear within him and within the glyph.
So it'd be
So you'd
a
be
6.
It'd be a 6.
So yeah, so it'd be with style. Okay. All right, so he's like, at the moment you can see like he's kind of like mentally fucked. Like he was already nervous, and now he kind of, you can tell that he kind of like really doesn't know what options he has at the moment. Shalissa, do you do anything, or you kind of just like let things?
I'm just gonna let the things play out.
Okay. What about you, Godric?
I am pointing my gun at him just in case he makes any sudden movements.
Okay. Kappa, you have the floor.
Pull up to the scene with my cylinder missing.
So as you're like walking up, he's like, back up, back up.
I put my hands down.
I'll tear it. I'll tear it in half.
There is no need for that. I am here to give you options.
there's no options. Unless you take this thing. I'll let you have it if you just let me go. If you just let me go, you can have it.
Here is the problem that we are going to have. You are going to die if you do not come with me. I'm giving you a choice. You can either die here, I'm going to take the blueprint, or I can say that you gave it to me willingly and then came with us.
It doesn't matter if I go back, they're going to put me through the court system, and it's just going to do way more damage than you think. It's not just me that's going to be punished.
I may be able to help push on a lesser punishment to some.
I'm telling you, not only am I going to be punished, it's going to be my father before me and my brother after me. This is the only way that none of them have to deal with this is if I go, because they can't affect them unless I go through the court system.
You can't go anywhere. It's either I take you alive, you die, or you come willingly with me. I tell them that you came willingly, and perhaps your family will get a lighter sentence. I know a lot of people, and then I'm going to use my contacts. I think it sounds better if I use my actual skills that I have. So I'm going to basically say that I have some contacts in Kenneth that can potentially help lessen the load on his family.
Everybody thinks they have contacts in Kenneth. The only thing that matters to Kenneth is House Kenneth, and that's it.
As I reach into my pocket, and I pull out a notarized piece of paper with my name on it, and then I hold it so he could just see Ghost Team A and then my name.
You show him that. He's like, Ghost Unit? The hell are you doing? They sent you guys after me? Is it really that important?
It must be. You're in way deeper than you think, kid. As I'm fucking probably younger than he is. But I just look old.
Why would they send... It doesn't even affect House Kenneth. It's just a list of political figures. He waves the paper like it's just a list of political figures.
It's not blueprints.
Godric cocks his hammer.
Sick. Now the choice is yours.
I guess I have no other choice. You promised that you could at least help my family.
I will try my best.
He drops to one knee, and he goes to hand it over.
And I grab it.
As you grab it, you see that there's a small tab of the scroll that's hanging out that says Kingdom of Siri. If I could have just got this to Thrain, I wouldn't have had to deal with any of this anymore. And he hands it to you, and he just drops to his other knee. So he's on his knees.
As I pull handcuffs out of my bag.
Sure.
I'm assuming because I do like to keep people alive. I'm sure this isn't a thing that usually happens in my life.
You see that as you're ready to do that, you see Core walks up to you and puts his hand out for you to hand him the scroll.
I hand the scroll to Core.
You hand the scroll to Core. Core turns around and he hands it to Godric to put into Kit.
That's what I was going to hand it to anyway.
Godric puts it into Kit.
He says, "No one shall touch this, brother." Yes, brother.
As I
Not even
Kill me!
as I cuff this guy up.
Yeah, you cuff him up. You see that he starts to break down. He's crying, and he's a mess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with no effort at all, you're able to grab him and throw him either into Kit or wherever, the rest of the unit says you have to go.
Now, if there is anything else you need to tell me to help your case, now is the time to speak.
There was a contact. It was who I was supposed to hand this to. It was going to name all the important people that were in Siri. It was going to be Thrain's way of taking them down. Once everything would have been cleared, it would have been two of the nations solid as one, and then everything else would have, fell together. We would have finally been done with this shit.
And your contact's name?
I don't know his real name.
What does he go by?
He's an agent for Thrain. He goes by the codename Lazarus.
Does this ring a bell for anyone?
I want both Kappa and Shalissa to roll a lore check.
Lore check.
If it ain't Kenneth, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, fuck. I got a -2.
Quick question. While they're doing this, can I take a look around? Once he said that.
I got a 3.
A 3?
After
Looks like
I like to use my aspect of highly educated
Okay.
for my lore.
Turn it into a 5.
Turn into a 5?
Turn into a 5.
You have definitely heard of Lazarus before. As your time being in magic schools and stuff like that, doing your studying, you know that Lazarus was somebody that was renowned around the different magic schools as being top of their class, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere dropped all of their classes, their GPA completely dropped, and they disappeared. Even though you guys take a 4-year term in magic school, at their second year they were rivaling teachers.
I hear the name Lazarus, and I relay all that information to you guys.
You know Lazarus you don't know him personally, but their face. If you were to see Lazarus, you could be able to point them out.
I'll look around.
You want to roll a notice?
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to roll
Yeah.
as well?
To
What did you
see
want to
if
roll
there's
notice for?
So I want to roll a notice because after he said he was supposed to hand this to a contact, I don't believe that the 7 were the only ones here that was with him. So I want to roll a notice to see if somebody's either paying attention or watching this whole thing go down.
Everybody can roll notice if they want to.
Notice.
I would like to invoke my paranoia boost on it, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So I have a +7.
Damn.
I have a +4.
I have a
Okay.
5.
So, Shalissa, you were rolling specifically to see if there's anybody else. As you look around, you don't see any signs of Lazarus at all, but you do see that on the carriage that they were on, there are academic symbols of schools that are in Thrain, that there are certain things on that carriage that match up with schools that are in Thrain, like magic schools.
Okay.
So you know that there's a possibility that this carriage was set up with that group to take him to meet them. Both Bia and Kappa, as you're looking around, as you guys lock up this guy, you see it looks like there's a small janky drone that's in the air that's watching what's going on, and then you can see within a flash a high-tech drone right behind it, and it zaps it. And that high-tech drone is a Kenneth drone. The drone drops maybe 30 feet away from you guys on the ground. You can see that the Kenneth drone stays there for a second and kind of circles your group and then zips off, as in to basically let you guys know to gather that information.
Yeah. So can I pick up that drone?
Yeah, you would pick it up.
I bring this drone over to Godric. Do you notice this from anywhere?
Would that be like a craft check?
Yeah.
That is a 4.
You could tell that with the specific like materials and like power sources of this, it looks like to you, it looks like what the churches in Thrain would try to build. They're not.
The Silver Flame churches?
Yes. As the device is messed up, you could tell that there is still a bit of power in this dragon shard, though.
Okay. With the 4 craft, would I be able to take the
Yes.
the power
Yeah.
for the dragon shard? Okay.
So Kor's like, seems like mission's done. We should probably head back to the warehouse. You did real good your first day, Kappa.
We all know that this was not my first day.
Kor would get into Kit.
Kid's big, so everybody could go in this bitch.
Yeah.
When we get in Kit, Baron would look to Kappa, and he would say, "Squid, Kappa, I actually have a gift for you since I found you were joining us. Can I see whatever you used to fight with?"
And I pull a dagger out.
Perfect. Okay. Do you hand it to him?
Yep.
As soon as you hand it to him, you hear his body rumble a little bit as he takes out a vial, and his left arm glows a little bit as he pours the vial of this liquid that smells aromatically and immensely like apple, as he says, "The world is gnawed by nameless things, but you shall be the ward of endless sleep. Your call to action, sleep well." And a glyph starts to appear on your dagger as the liquid is consumed by it. And he hands it back. Baron hands it back to you, and he goes, "Okay, so if you want this to work, just say sleep well, and it will add some chamomile into the dagger. And if you ever need to refill, just pour this on the glyph. After a few times, it'll probably break, but I can fix it again."
How many is this good for?
I don't know.
Okay.
And then as I'm doing that, I guess, would you need me to roll craft and risky touch or something like that?
No, you'll be fine.
Okay, perfect.
So as you guys are pushing it back to the warehouse, you can see that around you, you guys see that there are some Cannith vehicles. It seems like they're moving with House Orin to try to like help move along the road. And you guys just start moving. You see that Godric puts Kit into hyperdrive as it starts to speed up, and you see that after a while it blinks. During the time that you guys are driving, Baron starts to look out the window, and he starts to drift off, daydreaming, thinking of a memory that surfaces from long ago. Baron, you start to daydream, and you drift into an old memory that's been locked away in the back of your head. You start to remember this time when you were young. Your father was working harder than usual, trying to, get a bunch of medications going in and out of his shop and doing as much as he can, on top of trying to help you as much as he can. And it seems like at the moment he was distracting himself with work and you rather than worrying about his own emotions. At the time, you're maybe like 8 years old, and you come around peeking into his office, and you see that he's sitting with this elven man, and this elven man presents this drug to him.
Grandpa?
This is something that you could use. I believe that if you were to inject this into the boy, they couldn't deny him. You see, one thing that the elves take pride in is high magical prowess. If you can prove that he is more like them than he is like you, they may accept him. Unfortunately, you won't have your son and he'll belong to them, but he will be with his mother. Your father starts to ask, like, what is this? What are the side effects? What is it going to do? And he tells him that the drug is going to enhance the magic within you. If there's even just a little bit of magic within you, it's going to push it to its highest potential. It's going to allow you to be an amazing spellcaster to where they just can't deny you. The elves just wouldn't be able to. And your father accepts. You see that he slides him over a very, very large bag of gold, and you know that for what your father makes, even at 8 years old, you know that he probably shouldn't be making a purchase like this. And as the night goes on, you see that he talks to you and he tells you that there's a chance that you could be with your mother. And he injects this drug into you, into your arm, and you black out. When you come to, you see that a third of your home is absolutely in flames and burnt. Your father's beaten and battered. You see there's blood all over him. And you don't have a scratch on you. And you can see that your veins are glowing. And you feel angry. But you see your father just holds you and tells you that everything's okay. And you start to drift off back into sleep. And that's where I'll end the session.
Whoop whoop.
Got down.
You are taking time bomb. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Another goddamn bomb from fucking GnomeySmalls.
Yeah.
No me bombs.
Yay. But we will talk more about all of that in Late Night Traffic. Hey guys, check out our Patreon, Clash of Crits, per usual, the show. After the show where we talk about the show, we got dungeon discussions. We even got a Patreon exclusive campaign called Warcocks. You should really check it out. We would really appreciate the support. But before we say goodbye, plugs, does anyone have them?
You can follow me on the X at Chappie_COK. And I would like to thank you guys for listening to our newest and truest campaign. Shout out Don Lewis.
Damn.
And them.
You could follow me at OSOKUMA_COK. Also follow Clash of Crits. That's Clash_of_crits with a K. I'm glad to do this. I'm glad you listened if you listened.
You can follow me on the X at Dropper_crit with a K. Thank you, and welcome to Eberron with us.
It's GnomeySmalls. X is dead. Follow me on Blue Sky at GnomeySmalls.
Well, I don't have a blue sky, but I do have an X. You can follow me at SYVNOG.
And my name is Psycho. You can follow me at XYCH0COK on pretty much anything. And I also like to plug in Hybrid Punk to do some of the music that we play, and Shinovis does our theme song. That being said, I believe that is everything. So we will see you in traffic. Bye.
Bye.
Sleep well.
Kenneth!
This was a Clash of Crits podcast. Theme song done by Shinovis, with additional music done by Hybrid Punk. If you enjoyed our show, please give us a rating. See you in the next episode.